Welcome to Gotham by Night, a Nuwad multi-splat venue. Tonight will be the first session of Gotham, a technological advancement of the world now slowly falling into an untamable world of darkness. Tonight we focus on a small handful of our players, as they will be attending a meeting at night, of course, for a very important display that will be happening by a particular Wayne Industries. Wayne Industries will be showing off a brand new type of power constructor, almost like a ArcNet, so to speak. This ArcNet will claim to power all of the city for a week, running on just a simple glass of water. This technology has been quite the eye for many things, and is causing quite a buzz. Whether or not you live in the high city or the low city, or anywhere in Gotham, really, it's not really restricted access to anyone. It is a public display taking place outside of the Gotham Main Public Library, a massive library that has, well, probably more books than it should, especially in this digital age, although most of them are still stored in hardcover, although there is the digital copy for those who are technologically savvy. Most of the streets have been closed off. There are a lot of police and security around everywhere. However, the display is very tempting for most because it shows off a very interesting and special device, and it gives people from the lower city a chance to see one of the more upper parts of the city, and it gives people from the upper city a chance to possibly do business with Wayne Industries, as Wayne Industries has increased its revenue by quite a bit this last year. So without further ado, I will bring us to the scene. You are all in the area. There's, like I said, there is security and a lot of people around. There's a big crowd watching. There's a massive display with a tarp covering whatever it is they're going to display. Podium stand, pretty much looks like a political rally kind of happening up. There is a very light drizzle coming down from Gotham, and it is about 12 o'clock at night. Let's go ahead and start the scene with Sabrina.
Sabrina walks into the gala. She's wearing a very elegant dress, nice shawl over her shoulders, beautiful necklace. She's got jewelry that is this lustrous blend of multiple metals, lots of silver earrings and white gold necklace. Well to do. Um, gets a, and this is like a catered function.
Yes.
We'll snag a hors d'oeuvre and she
The hors
will
d'oeuvres are quite good.
get herself a little thing of whiskey, little glass of whiskey. Neat.
They got little trays coming by.
Yeah.
Most of
Okay.
it's on the table, but and a lot of the stuff has been kind of sealed off because it's drizzling a bit, so it's
Okay.
it's got covers. And since Scottish Fiona is next in the channel thing anyway, let's go to Miss Trinity Logan.
Okay, so Trinity is exiting the library when she is wearing her signature leather jacket, black 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 jeans, very pretty with long blonde hair, and she cocks her head as she sees this rather interesting display and makes her way through the crowd to get as close as she can to whatever they're covering up, because she's quite curious about this. And she's standing there watching, kind of just taking in the crowd and the noise and the hum of civilization that's all around her.
Mistress.
Well, hi. Uh, well, she's going to be arriving at the library. Well, not with the clothes is in this picture. Maybe I should use the other overlay. That's more business-like. Uh,
Indeed, this would be event for a little bit more business, although there is some pleasure. It's kind of a formal occasion, but yeah,
yeah,
business satire would probably be better.
yeah. She'll be
Mhm.
more of the more serious kind of thing, like a black dress, followed by her bodyguards. And she'll just proceed inside to see what's going on, see if there's anyone there that she knows, probably quite a few.
Oh, there are quite a few influential people here at the library and at the display. Definitely, probably the main reason you came.
Yeah.
And let's see, next in the thing is direct your attention to the homeless man. Mr. Green, would you tell us what you are doing?
Oh, he's walking around the back holding up his sign, of course. Do you know how your soul looks? Giving irritated looks at everybody and looking out at all the debauched people, wondering when they're going to finally clean this city up.
Do you have the site up?
I oh, if I do, it's just a passive one.
Okay. You look around. Nothing really stands out at you, but there's definitely a lot of energy and whatnot going around here. But you know you've got your sign up and you're sitting there like, "Arr, arr," and no one's really paying you much mind. Although this is set in one of the higher up parts of the city, so a lot of those who are well off are kind of looking at you like, eh. But other than that, you don't get too many looks.
And he looks like it. I give a very uncomfortable stare back.
And finally, Rexford, you would definitely be there since you're probably dealing with matters of security at this point. So go ahead and
Oh, of
tell us what you
course.
are doing.
Of course. If Andrew wasn't there for the last 2.5 hours watching everything get set up, he's been there at least 1 hour before guests actually began arriving. Uh, Security or police, I'm not entirely sure which, but he would be there. He would be out in front, just trying to keep an eye on things.
All right. So you see a couple more security kind of come out, and you hear over your radio, Rexford, that, hey, big guy's coming out on campus. Keep an eye. And you come out and you see a couple important political figures. I currently don't have pictures of them at the moment, but you notice two major figures come out. One of them appears to be the mayor of Gotham City, who you all know to be Andrea. And then the other person that comes out, for those of you who have connections in the higher ups, appears to be one Bruce Wayne. There is also another person that comes out that is standing next to him, and she looks like this. She comes on out to the podium, and neither Bruce nor the mayor speaks, but she does. She comes out and she says, welcome one, welcome all. Today, Wayne Industries has a treat for all of those who have worked so hard to keep Gotham City the great city that it is. Tonight, we unveil our newest technology in energy and resource gathering. Tonight, no longer will Gotham City be held in the dark. At all times, we will have light to guide our way. We will have power and energy to fuel every house, not just that of the wealthy, but of all Gotham City. Tonight, my friends, we unveil the future of Gotham City. And she kind of waves her hand out, and the veil drops. And you basically see like this big kind of arc reactor looking thing. It's got two major stations on one side, and it's got a pillar going up to the middle. It almost looks like a Tesla coil. But imagine if Nikolai Tesla saw the idea for cold fusion, for those of you who know what cold fusion is, and said, I'm going to take that thing and I'm going to put it in that thing. And then that's pretty much what it looks like. It's a giant pillar of liquid, and it looks like it's got a little arc reactor going around it like in a coil. And it looks interesting. For those of you with Mage Sight, if you look at this thing with Prime, it is blinding. It is utterly blinding.
Okay.
So, quick
So
question.
did
Sorry.
go for it.
Good.
I was just gonna ask, what is this lady who did the presentation? What is her composure? Because Trinity's gonna try and do a thing.
Her composure looks pretty good, but go ahead. Just go ahead and do what you're gonna do. Like, she looks very well composed. Like, she's like, you know.
Oh, well, I just meant because the roll has a penalty equal to the character's composure, so I just need to know what the penalty is. 'Cause it has
Okay,
a
your
roll.
penalty. 5.
All right.
Oh damn.
I'm going to try to look for the security guy because I automatically assume that all that magic's coming from dead baby bodies that they're stacking in the bottom because that's what rich people do. So I'm going to sneak into this place and check it out.
All right. So one thing at a time. I'll go ahead and have you do your declaration, but first I'll tell Trinity what she sees. So it fails. Whoever this woman is, she's very well composed. And at that point, would everyone make me?
Oh, won't have time.
No, you'll have time.
No, it's okay.
Would everyone make me? Would everyone make me a wits plus composure roll, please?
Ooh, those are always fun. And then at some point I'm going to look at the thing with my mage sights.
Mhm.
All right, so let me wing it.
And yeah, like I said, for the mages who look at it with prime sight, it's like you don't see much else with the other spheres.
What difficulty?
Oh, it's remember this is new WAD 8, 9, 10 is hits.
Also, I don't see a dice place.
I thought it was 7 and above.
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry.
I thought it was 7, 8, 9, 10.
Or 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry.
I could be wrong.
I thought it was
No,
8 through 10, but
It's 8 through 10.
yeah, 8 through 10. 8, 9, 10.
With composure,
Do the tens double?
Are you specialized
In what? No.
in wits or composure? No? Okay, so nothing.
Tens lie to
So that's
reroll
two
the dice.
successes.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do, I'm sorry, I probably should announce that in homebrew rules. But what I do in New WAD is I do 10s as just an extra hit. And then so when you do 9s again, it's also an extra hit. So if you take 2 specialties and then take the feat and then take a power that gives you 8s again, yes, 8s, 9s, and 10s can give you 2 successes each. So I usually do it like that just because I don't want to bog up the
do
dice roller
specialties
with a
add
shitload of
dice?
rolls. Specialties will add dice as normal. It's just that when you get a 10 again, a 9 again, or an 8 again on a power or a merit, it'll just add the 1 rather than having to re-roll. So
i.e., a 10 is 2 successes instead of 1 success and then roll.
yes,
I don't know. I'm confused.
it's the exact same thing as old WAD. Just take it easy. Calm down. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got that. Okay. So you looked at it with your maid sight. It was prime. Everyone rolled. So let me go ahead and check here. So Austin 0, wasted
Oh.
0.
Lovely.
Mistress Tatiana 2. Rexford
Well-
3. Scottish Fiona 0.
I'm going out.
Or no, I'm sorry. Scottish Fiona got 2. 2. So not. Okay. So
What? How do you get 2?
I'm
1d10?
seeing wits plus composure.
Oh.
10. Although you did get a 1 in there.
Well, ones don't take away.
That's correct.
Oh,
7 and 10. So actually, it's 1. Okay, so 1 hit.
2 hits.
That
Are
would
you special?
be-
Are you specialized in wits or composure, Mr. Fiona? Okay, so the people being affected by this will be Trinity, Mr. Rorschach.
I did get 2 successes if ones don't count.
Oh, okay, and so Trinity and Sabrina will be affected by this. All right, Christine, the mistress. You recognize what this is because it's something you use.
Okay.
It's Majesty.
Mm-hmm.
It is the first dot being kind of overwhelmed by a crowd. And for those of you who got 0 successes, your focus is immediately focused to her. The woman up
Gotcha.
on the podium.
Okay.
Like she has become the center of attention.
Hmm.
And she's giving a little bit of speech about, how it will be affordable. Everyone's going to have one. They're going to put one on every street corner and all that. And then, Mr. Rorschach, you wanted to kind of start sneaking?
Not really start sneaking, but get an eye out and start looking around for places where I can get into it later and watch where it's going and see if I can find who's probably in charge of security, who will look different than everybody else, i.e., this will also give 2 characters
Okay.
a reason to bump into each other.
Well, this.
Okay. Hold on. Edward, roll me Dex and Stealth, and then Rexford, roll me your Perception plus, what is it, new what, alertness? If I remember correctly.
With wits composure for alertness rolls.
Wits
And
composure, you're right. Yep, so Edward, roll me Dex and Stealth. Rexford, roll me Wits composure.
Is that backwards?
Oops.
Smashing keyboard of typing.
God damn, look at my ones. I keep getting them all.
You're lucky they don't take away. Are you specialized in Stealth or Dex?
I didn't know you can take specialties in your
I'm a
business.
little confused why it's not counting that 8 as a success, but I have 2.
Because you have it as greater than 8,
Yeah.
not
you
greater
need to
than
put
equal.
Yeah, you need to put greater than and equal to, and then 8. Yeah.
Okay.
10, 7, and 8, so that's 3. And then that's 1, 2. Okay, not enough. Wasted. You go a bit unnoticed.
I
As you
should have
sneak
3,
aside,
unless of course 10 again doesn't. Does the 10 count as 2, or is it just the 1?
only if you're specialized. Remember, you got to be specialized for the thing to do it. That's the
Fair enough.
drawback. I don't have the reroll, but you got to be specialized in it. And then if you take the merit, the 9 again, then you can be specialized for 9 and 10s. But
Sounds good.
until then, unless you're specialized, 10s will not. Since ones
Okay.
don't take away anymore. Yeah, Edward, you kind of look around and you can see that for future possible entrances, even though the library is set up in the newer part of the city, it's got a surprising amount of weak points for a building because they've taken the old architecture of the library and they've kept it the same. So all surrounding the library, there's like new futuristic buildings. There's, some tech holo displays and whatever. But the library itself is a very old building, and they have not changed the architecture at all. They've updated it a bit, but it's still the same. So you can see there's still a fire escape. There's still possibly even a basement window entrance that you could break in. And God forbid, you could probably climb up to that roof and freaking build a couple houses up there. It's so big. So there are definitely some nice points of entry here.
Gotcha. Now, can we, those of us who were not affected, can we still do we still notice that she's unusually charismatic?
Let's see. What sites are you looking at it with? Prime mostly?
Yeah, I don't think correspondence is my other primary school. It ain't gonna do shit.
Space and new one. You're kind of looking at her with Prime, and she's definitely radiating energy. She's radiating more energy than several other people. You look up, you don't see anything from the mayor. You see a little bit come from Mr. Bruce Wayne as well, but she does have a lot of energy, and it's at this point that you look around you and you can start to see kind of spots in like a crowd. You can see certain people kind of glowing compared to other people.
I'm not surprised all the freak shows like myself came out to see all this.
Rexford, what's your character's name again?
Andrew.
Andrew, it's at this point that you do finally notice Edward. Appears to be some kind of homeless guy, although a fairly well-dressed homeless guy, it seems. Kind of snooping around, maybe where he shouldn't be.
Well, everyone else seems to be toying around with mage things. Would Andrew be able to use family resemblance?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is anyone attempting to actually hide from this? Otherwise, it automatically succeeds.
Let's see. The woman up on the podium is not. Are any of the other players actually attempting to hide?
Hide what?
What?
Their nature. And I believe it would require something like obfuscate or the like.
Oh, I do not have Supernal Veil active at the moment, so I am not under active.
Yeah, it looks like everyone
work.
here is not hiding. They're out in the open. Most people are exposing themselves. So
It doesn't work as well against mages, but vampires, werewolves, changelings, yeah, it works much better against them.
Yeah, all of these people seem to be, especially the woman on the podium. No one seems to be really trying to veil themselves.
Okay,
That's fine. Andrew will approach the lurker, as it were.
AFK right quick.
Andrew, you approach the guy and see Edward. And Edward, you notice what looks to be one of the security coming over to you.
Oh, start looking around for like a slightly more private place and start undoing the front of my pants. And then when I notice him, look embarrassed.
So I'm going to take a guess that he's breaking a law right now.
Nothing to see here.
Public urination, especially since you're in the upper part of the city. Public urination is definitely a no-no. It's not in Gotham City. Ironically, it's not a felony, but it is an indecency, and it is punishable by a fine.
I wouldn't assume it. It's like, look, guy, hold on.
Shooting.
Hold on. Stop.
Sorry.
In front of a cop, really? Come on, man.
I thought everyone was watching the scene. Where do you think they're getting all that power? I'm going with dead babies.
It's from a Hold up. Now.
This is where it's going to get fun.
Never mind. Forget about it.
Yeah,
never bothered.
While he's talking, this is where it's going to get fun. Nothing to see here. And I'm going to Jedi mind trick him with mind because I'm apparently not paying attention. And it's probably not going to work.
Contested. Okay.
Oh, which? Okay, so which?
Willpower class goes first.
Well, Clash of Wills comes after because you got to make sure the effect is successful.
That makes sense.
Yes.
All right.
So go ahead and roll me effect, and then we'll have the clash.
All right. So what are you trying to?
It's a crap effect. It's not even a rote. A mind impulse. There's nothing to see here. So it's gnosis and mind, 4 dice.
Mhm.
I don't believe it's paradoxical.
No,
So
it's just a mental, like most mental blanks aren't. Don't worry
Right.
about that.
So I'm gonna rub my lucky. About to say I've only thought of like 2 or 3 of my actual foci. So
It's all right. Just
yeah,
go.
I'll use.
Okay, so
I don't know foci. I think it's just 5 dice.
1, 2, and then 1 for Rexford. Okay, so
So is this contested or resisted?
this will be resisted
Okay.
because he popped it off.
Well, let's take
So
a look
does-
at
Does he just want my tolerance stat and that's it, or is it something like composure? Or
No, he's basically trying to get you like kind of like,
Okay,
nothing to
so-
see here, and like go away.
So we're gonna look
No.
at emotional urging as kind of the base for this spell.
That sounds right.
So your practice is ruling. The primary factor is potency. All right, I'm gonna make some notes because new mage gets math heavy. All right, so how many levels in the mind arcana do you have?
2 and 2 in gnosis.
All right, so your base potency is 1. The withstand is composure. So you are going to, and then mage can project an emotional state, open or close doors, benefit from dealing. So you have Gnosis 2 and you said Mind 2?
Yep.
Alright, so your base dice pool is 4.
Mhm.
What yantras are you using? If any.
I'm going to use 1 at least because I'm sure I've got this prepared. It's just I don't have this prepared. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm looking at real fast. Brass, leather, cruel swords, cruel weapons. That's not appropriate. Iron,
So
but a rubbing
So
iron.
you're looking at a path tool?
Yep.
So that's another 1.
Oh, that gives a bonus.
Yep, path tools give +1. You can use 1 more yantra.
Well, I've always got my little piece of Damascus steel with the spirals on it that remind me that everything's a spiral, baby.
Is that a border
No,
tool, a
no.
path tool?
No, that's just a dedicated tool, so that removes any paradox.
Okay, so +0 for removing paradox.
So that's just
Are you spending willpower?
no.
Alright, so that brings your dice pool up to 5. He probably has so the way withstand works for spells like this is you have to have potency greater, or their withstand rating takes away spells potency levels.
And you want 1 left. That makes sense.
Yeah, and you'll want 1 left over. So you currently have a base potency of 1. You get, because this is emotional urging, which is a base, which is mind 2, you get 1 reach for free. So you'll probably be using that free reach to instant cast this.
I believe it's primary.
I recommend using it. I recommend not arguing.
Then,
So
yes.
wasted. So you instant cast it. So let's go ahead and get the resistances.
Now you have 5. You have 5 dice.
Yep.
At current, you can reduce that dice pool by 2 per level of potency
Just to get a
you wish to apply to the spell.
I was going to risk.
Right, so he's just doing standard potency.
So standard
2.
potency 1.
So
So
he's got 2 hits.
okay,
Which is
he has 2 hits. Okay, now we subtract the target's composure from the potency of the spell.
Right.
And that
So
would
Mr.
be two.
Rexford. So that would be 2. So it is dead, dead.
There is there is no remaining potency.
That's what I thought.
Right. So Edward, you do your thing. You go or whatever you do. And Rexford, he's still there. And Edward, yeah, he's still there.
Look a little surprised. I said there's nothing to see here. You can bugger off.
Buddy, I was going to tell you to just do your business real quick, but apparently you're just, oh my God, are you really making me do this right now? And he's pulling out a notepad.
Hey, come. Oh no, I'm about to say this is. Okay, I'm suspicious of him because he waved off my mental effect, even though I didn't try real hard. So let's open up Mind Sight 1 and give him a glance. Maybe he's one of these peckers. Dark peckers.
All right. So, mage sight. Active mage sight. Mind. Detects the presence of thinking beings, allows the mage to tell with a glance if someone is asleep, comatose, awake, meditating, projecting out of his body into the astral. Also, you are aware when someone gains or spends willpower.
Okay, Edward, you look at Mr. Damn it, Rexford, you should change your name on the thing so I know what your character name is. You look at this man, and for a brief second, Edward, you think you see something, but you're just not sure. You're looking right at him. You can see the mind, you can see the prime, but for a second there, you think you see something else, but you can't put your finger on what it was.
All right, what's the story here? You're not one of those damn vampire leech things, because you're out in the daylight. Wait, was it daylight or nighttime?
It's night.
Fuck.
It's very nice.
Very nice.
All right, fine. I'll use family resemblance actively because he's a mage. Not that
Now
Andrew has any idea what that is. That die pool would be wits, occult, and lair,
Yep.
resisted by the target's composure.
Steve
Let's
has
see
no
here. It's 3 wits, 2 occult, 2 lair, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it'd be a dice pool of 7. And what is Edward's composure?
Eddie's composure, I believe, is 3 without looking right, because I always am. Yay. Yeah, I just mumble about something about what kind of dark beastie are you?
Yep, so wit's 3, so it'll be 3. Let's do
7
this.
minus 3 is 4.
Yes.
You don't think Edward's all there, so like turning into like his dad or abusive uncle may not be the best thing that's going to happen in a second. If that's what you're doing.
No, it's
nope,
not
he's
what he's
just-
doing.
Out of character is that beast thing where you can kind of assume the other supernatural's aura or something.
No, it lets
he
him
would
identify
require-
what you are.
Oh, you can
He
like
could ping as a different type of supernatural creature, but he requires family ties to that type, and he doesn't have any. So
maybe you can learn one.
it's
Two
successes,
hits.
So I guess that's enough.
Yep.
So Andrew was already realizing that there's many different supernatural types in attendance, and apparently this is one he probably hasn't seen before. But something tells him human, but not quite human.
Not
That
quite.
voice in the back of his head. It's like, I know what you are. Kinda. Sorta.
Mm-hmm. So, moving on from that, since that took a little while,
Sorry.
we'll go to Miss Trinity Logan, then I'll go to Sabrina, then I'll go to Mistress. Trinity, what are you doing when the project is unveiled?
She is checking her nails because this is really boring. And she decides she's going to wander around, and she is just going to wander through the crowd until she bumps into someone interesting.
Okay. Well, ironically, the person you bump into that's closest to you is Miss Sabrina.
I will interact with Trinity in just a second, but I have my active mage sites, or my mage site is active. My primaries are death and matter. So the first one, death site, is um, is any is there the
There,
anchor condition anywhere?
there are only two people who seem to be giving off any sort of death aura, so to speak.
Okay.
And forgive me, I use terminology different in New WoD. I'm sorry. I just use different terminology because I'm so used to playing Old WoD. But in terms of the overall death site, you see the anchors. You do see one anchor
Okay.
from this point, I guess, where someone died. But in terms of overall kind of aura, you're only seeing two people in the entire place that have any sort of death resemblance on them.
So does everybody here have a soul?
No.
Not everyone, no.
Okay. Because I
Most
get to,
people. About 99% of them have souls.
who do not have souls?
That would be Andrew.
Andrew
Do I
does
have
not
a
have a
soul?
soul.
Trinity does not either.
That's
Trinity does. Okay.
Yeah,
Noted.
the beast don't, and I don't think the vampires do either.
Vampires have souls.
Okay, vampires have souls. So the beasts do not.
Okay.
They are the two that you are seeing that
Okay.
do not.
Are there any bodies that are dead?
All right. Yeah. In that case, you see the woman at the podium, and you see the woman not too far from your right.
Okay, so Trinity and Mistress, or the speaker and Mistress are dead. Andrew and Trinity don't have souls. Okay, matter site.
Oh boy.
It is
are you looking at the
durability of things around me, equipment bonuses. Like it just gives me a whole bunch of like just mattery details.
It's well, all the security is armed.
Mhm.
The woman up at the podium has something weird on her neck.
Okay.
Like she has a pendant, but something's kind of reading wrong with the matter sphere there. And
Okay.
when you look at the device, this thing is like when you look at it with any sight, it's blinding. It's odd. Like whenever you look at it with anything, it just kind of throws you off. Like and it reverses your eyes.
All right. I also have Pierce Deception active. So it reveals active untruths. So like
All right.
people with dyed hair. I know if anybody is lying to me.
The woman up at the podium.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit difficult to describe, but it feels like it does feel like there's deception, but she's not saying anything to you at the moment. At the moment, she's now talking to a few people at the edge of the podium.
Okay.
Mr. Wayne and the mayor, and shaking hands with them and discussing them. And the crowd has kind of gone into this big discussion, and everyone's like, "Ooh, look at that!
Right.
You know, it looks so cool."
Well, then I will turn my attention to the person who bumped into me, so that I have all that information clarified. Kind of blink for a second. Sabrina will
Miss Logan has bumped into you.
look at Miss Logan, kind of like blink, give her kind of the up and down smile. Well, how are you doing this fine evening?
And when she speaks, she has a noticeable Canadian accent, which I cannot do, just for reference. She
Fair.
says, "Oh, I'm doing all right. How about you? What do you think of this?" And she points over her shoulder. This, like, wow, that's really cool, isn't it?
Pointing to the big device.
Yes.
It's definitely a unique thing. Curious to see more about it.
I mean, it's really cool, but like,
as they say.
oh yeah. And she's nodding. I don't know. It's kind of like makes you wonder how they have it working, you know. And she's wiggling her fingers like people do when they talk about like magic, like, you know, what sorcery made it. You know, technology is like really advanced now, isn't it? It's almost like magic. And she definitely has a Valley Girl vibe going on.
It really is. Technology makes grand advancements, leaps and bounds every day. She'll sip her drink.
It's at this point, Trinity, you're kind of bumped into by a guy in a very nice suit. Says, "Watch it, toots."
And she turns and looks. Sorry.
I was going to say, is this person alive? Does this person have a soul?
This person who has now just bumped into her is not alive.
Okay.
She turns and she looks at him and she like puts her hands on her. She's just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? I didn't hurt you, did I? I'm so sorry."
Don't touch me, woman. Get off me.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you? I didn't mean to. Are you okay?" And she's gonna roll. Let's go with a presence. I guess it would be an expression to like show how sincere she is.
Sure. Now we'll roll his count.
Okay, so 3, 4, 5. What are her striking looks apply here?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta just add up numbers. Okay. 8.
It's okay, Christine. I'll get to you in a sec.
Oh, it's okay. I'm working.
Uh, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, let me roll this. 15. That is 5 successes.
Oof.
So yeah, he
Because
kind of
Davidisms are great.
he kind of looks at you like he believes that you are sincere, but he seems to have another thing on his mind. As you've noticed now, I'll go ahead and say that because you were kind of like trying to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and you were kind of touching him, he moved his coat over a little bit, and you can see that he's armed.
Okay, she'll back off with the touching, and she will just, after she finishes apologizing, she will just turn back to Sabrina.
Sabrina will take a step back. I don't think that would be wise, sir.
He says, "Oh, I think it'd be very wise now." And he pulls out the gun and he fires 2 shots up into the air. And of course the crowd, just like out of the movies, like the crowd immediately like screams and goes, "Ah." And then it's from the other side of the thing that all of the security at the event, you hear other gunshots go off. And you can see members of the security getting shot from somewhere.
Oh. I spend a mana. I gain a mana.
Here we
I
go.
activate armor.
You activate what?
I activate matter armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not matter armor, but yeah.
So,
Okay, so to save a little bit of time here, since this is a kind of movie scene, I'm not going to have everyone do the whole initiative and have this massive amount of stuff happen. But after a lot of the security gets shot, unless anyone wishes to act on that, Mr. Rexford, you can see some of the other security officers getting shot by something, or getting shot from somewhere.
Oh, what do I do with this?
I mumble at him real fast. That's not me. I'm not with them. So you got a problem.
I'm assuming that I'm getting out of there.
If you wish,
I
just
mean,
to let
it's
everyone
not
know,
up to
all of
me.
well, just to let everyone know, all of the exit paths are going to be blocked by these very interesting looking fellows. You see what looks to be gang members coming out of the woodwork, and they are all brandishing very weird looking, technologically advanced Tommy guns. And they're wearing hoodies with white, kind of a white line around the left arm. And they're all wearing kind of skull masks. For anyone who's played Dead by Daylight and seen the Legion skull outfit, that's kind of what it looks like.
Okay.
And they're all kind of coming out, and they're pointing Tommy guns at everyone. Within literally a matter of just minutes, all of the security is either injured or dead.
Okay.
Although, Rexford, they haven't shot at you because you're not dressed like a security.
Does that include my personal bodyguards?
No, because they're not dressed like security. They're literally shooting people who were dressed like cops.
Oh, great.
Stand down. Ain't worth getting shot over. If they're here for a machine, we'll get it back later.
Well, I'm gonna assume that my bodyguards are pulling me back towards
Yeah, your
somewhere
body-
that seems safe, and I'll go along with it because
Yeah, your bodyguards are kind of in this corner, like where the crowd is. Like the crowd's been kind of ushered into like this little corner area of a building that's kind of across the street from the library, and it's kind of in a semicircle. And you're in the back, and your bodyguards are shielding you.
That's actually not a half bad idea. Am I able to roll empathy for Andrew?
Yeah, sure.
With the intention that Andrew is trying to discern their intents. Are they here to kill everybody? Are they here to steal something?
I won't even have you roll for that because it's going to be so blatantly obvious. When you detect some of these guys, most all these guys are here to steal said thing. The guy over in the left who just shot 2 bullets up in the air before all the chaos started, his intent is to kill.
Oh boy.
And you hear, now that all that chaos has happened within literally a matter of seconds, I'll get to what's being said. The man who just fired 2 shots in the air looks around and he says, he presses a little button on his throat. And you see a little blue light kind of glow a little bit. And all of a sudden his voice booms as if he was on a loudspeaker. And he says, "Keep everyone down. Nobody moves. No one gets hurt." Well, maybe some. And he immediately just points his gun up at the woman on the podium and pulls the trigger.
This is going to end poorly.
He strikes her square in the chest and she falls over, supposedly dead.
Andrew isn't so bothered about that for very specific reasons.
You also notice that, by the way, for those of you who were looking at the podium, you notice the mayor is still there, but Bruce Wayne is nowhere to be seen.
yeah, Tatiana, once she sees the shot being shot, she pretends to be shocked.
Yeah, the crowd screams and everyone's kind of like, everyone's a little bit.
I light a cigarette.
All right, so Andrew's going to turn away from the guy exposing himself, like completely pants up. All right, and
Oh, it's away.
let's see. So most of the people on the periphery are obviously just pushing towards the device.
Like everyone's the crowd has actually been moved away from the device and is in a semicircle over in the corner, and the guards or the bad guys have surrounded them, pointing guns at them, and then some of the bad guys are now going over to the machine and untying it and like trying to get it loaded up, and you can hear a truck coming from around the corner.
So it's just the one who's waiting through the crowd, firing into the air, who's actually dangerous.
Yeah, he just shot the woman up at the podium, square in the chest.
I have a question.
Andrew wants to get his attention.
Sure thing. So I'll do Andrew in just a sec. What is your declaration, Christine? Or what's your question?
Would I be able, by using the contacts that I have, which you know who they are, I don't, to make it known to someone that this is happening? Like, inform someone that this is happening. Like,
Yes, go ahead
discreetly.
and go ahead and discreetly make the text on your phone.
Do I need to roll
And
something for that?
no, you're just making a text. Your bodyguards are shielding you enough to where, like, literally the people that are looking at you are more focused on a general crowd. The guy who's walking away from you literally has his back to you, and you've got 2 security guards blocking you off. You're pretty well concealed.
Okay, but who am I informing though?
I know exactly who you're informing. Just tell me what you're letting them know.
There is a situation at the library. Possible terrorist attack. People being shot. Security guards are
Okay.
shot.
Yep. Okay. All right. So that'll happen. Ooh. Okay. So Andrew, you kind of like what do you say to him? Like, do you?
Mostly he shouts like, "Hey, what are you doing over there? Are you crazy?"
He turns to you and points the gun at you, and he says, "Shut the fuck up."
Neat. Andrew is going to activate a nightmare.
Oh boy.
All he has to do is look in the man's eyes and say, "That's a mistake," and he's going to activate Behold My True Form.
Okay. Just tell me what he has to resist to save time. For
It'll
rolls.
be Andrew's presence and satiety versus stamina.
Right.
And he will be spending satiety on this.
And like I said, for the future, whenever we're rolling stuff and we're doing contested, just let me know what they have to roll. And then whenever you guys roll like a physical attack against enemies, I'll let you know what's subtracted from your pool. You roll stamina alone, huh? All right.
It's not even a roll. It just takes away from the die pool.
Okay, his stamina is 3.
Okay, so my pool would have been 5 satiety and 2 presence for 7. So it's back down to 4, and I'm gonna spend. Heck with it, I'll spend 2 satiety on this. I want him dead. Dead or mostly dead.
By the way, Scottish Fianna, your comment up there in general, I say yes to that. And I say you should do that.
Oh, yes.
I need 1. 40, 10, greater than 8. A success.
Hey. So, what's going to
whoever-
happen to this poor bastard?
He spent 2 satiety on this, so each point will deal 2 weapon damage.
Oof. So he takes 4.
So that's 4, and then I guess the 1 success makes it 5.
Okay. And will this be mental damage or physical damage he will take? So to speak. And in other words, will people be able to see like wounds appear on the guy, or will it all be in his head?
It will be.
I
It
think
would be in his
Behold My True Form is essentially psychic damage.
Yes. Okay.
Most.
So
I believe are all mental.
all right. So he'll point his gun up, and right after his gun, he points it to you, and like right as you say that, he's like ah, and he like screams and like drops his gun and grabs his eyes.
Now
One of the other gang members is like, "Boss, what's going on?"
The question is that 5 damage enough for an exceptional success?
It's got to be 5 on the roll.
Yeah, it's got to be the success itself has to be the roll. It can't just be damage. Because that was additive. It wasn't a roll. It has to be a roll. So he screams. He's like, "Ah, fuck, shit!" You know, he's saying a lot of 4-letter words now. And he's like, "Shoot him! Shoot everybody!" And at that point, you've noticed that in Gotham City now, there's still a lot of street lamps, but they're kind of modern now. They're like, you know, flat fluorescent, and they give out a lot of brightness. At that point, all of you in the crowd and the entire city block, every light goes out. And it's now
Okay.
surprisingly dark.
All right. So because I've got active mage sight, how would that kind of energy flare off of Andrew?
Oh, you would get potentially you'd get a glimpse of his actual horror.
Okay.
Yep.
Even with our low level.
Yeah.
Oh, yuck.
And I also have Pierce Deception, so that's active as well. So what is his horror?
His horror, it's linked in the one channel, but it is a very dark, luminous, red-eyed figure superimposed over his own form. It's for a moment. You'd almost blink and it'd be gone.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it looks like some kind of shadow monster.
So, but just like a big giant.
It's maybe a head and a half taller than he is.
Humanoid, not humanoid.
Oh, very humanoid.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Like, so big glowing-eyed shadow giant.
Yep. Mistress, you get a text back saying, "Keep your head down."
So, when Andrew used his nightmare, and he like walked out in front of the crowd where we all could see him, right?
What happened was when like the scream happened, like the crowd is like scattered a bit, so it's easy to see Andrew and the guy he just did that thing to. It's not hard to see them.
Okay, because beasts recognize each other on site, so I know he's a fellow.
At this point, Trinity could tell he's a beast with her eyes closed at this point.
Okay, she is going to Okay, so she is going to try and slip past the guards to get to him now that it's dark. Which I'm assuming is going to be a dexterity stealth roll.
Yes, I'll actually allow nines to explode on. I'm sorry, are you specialized?
Let me
stealth?
double check. I don't think it is. No, but she has, and I'm looking it up now. She's double jointed.
I also noticed
Okay, she is advanced double jointed.
Okay, so because it's real dark and because this is actually a really easy roll, I will allow tens to explode on this one. So a 10 will be an additional hit if you get tens.
All right. Just making sure she doesn't have anything else that applies to it. No. Okay. That is one success.
Yes. You are easily able to slip away during the chaos that is ensuing. And now that it is pitch black, you know, people are starting to try and make a break for it just like you, and you're easily able to kind of hide and slip away.
Okay, she is going up to where Andrew is her destination.
Okay, Andrew, roll me a wits plus composure. Andrew?
I'm sorry?
Roll me a wits plus composure.
I'm going to try to run up to where the mayor was and, grab him. Since
Sure thing. I'll get to that in a second.
not a problem. And be amazed that Andrew went out there.
One success.
Okay, 1-1. I believe it goes to defender still in Newad, if I remember correctly. If it's a draw. So
I
Andrew,
will refer to all.
So Andrew, you kind of look around and you get the sense that there's something around you, but you don't see anyone. Trinity, what are you doing as you sneak up to him?
She just sneaks up, pops up beside him, and says, "Need some help?"
So it is very dark, obviously, and some person is suddenly a lot closer than he expected.
Yep. She's like, "Hey, you need some help?"
So
And
he'll
you can
stumble back
instinctively
half
tell
a
she's a
step.
horse. She's a beast.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Beast. Yeah, and beast.
And he'll take a half step back. Okay. Where did you come from exactly?
Oh, you know us, my family and our relatives. We're good at getting places, you know. And as you look at her, you can sense her horror, which is like this massive kraken from the waist down, but a beautiful woman from from the waist up, just kind of overlaid over her.
Okay, this is a little strange. And here I was very distracted with a guy holding a gun to me, or pointing a gun at me. So yeah, help him. He's dangerous. The rest of them are just, biding their time. The guy's shooting into the air. He was dangerous. I want to make sure he doesn't get away.
Yep. As you two were discussing this, you notice that with the lights have gone out, everyone's kind of in a panic situation, and now you can hear gunshots kind of flowing out, and you can hear little things whizzing by at the top. Not really bullets, but you can hear like kind of coming by near you up in the darkness somewhere, and you can hear a couple people screaming. The guy who has been hurt is now on the ground. He seems to be recovering somehow. And as for Edward, you're going to run up to the mayor?
Yeah.
Okay. You see the mayor there, and she's kind of ducked down behind the podium. Then she looks over at you.
Get down, dumbass. Off the stage behind here. Let's get out of here. Let's get you out of here.
She'll shrug and follow you.
Is it completely dark?
It's pretty darn dark. It's not like pitch black utter, but it's close.
All right,
So-
interested in that.
What Trinity's going to do? Sorry.
Go ahead.
She's
Yeah,
going
go
to
ahead and
spend a
have
point
Trinity
of
make
deity?
declaration, then I'll go through.
Okay. She's going to spend a point of deity and walk up to the guy laying on the ground, and she's going to scream full force.
And use the black canary thing? Gotcha.
Yes, she's black canarying this dude.
Yep.
Oh,
This guy
boy.
is literally on his deathbed, and I say deathbed in quotes. So you hit him square on. I won't even have a roll for this because you're just gonna like point blank shot him at this point. He's like, "Aah!" And when you hit him with the ear-shattering scream, he doesn't die. He turns to dust.
She tilts her head to the side at that.
All right, Edward. At this point, as you go down to the mayor, you jump down over the screen and you kind of go behind, and you can see that a couple of the thugs have been taken out by someone.
Be pleasantly surprised. Then I'm checking my spell real fast to see if I can send someone through one of my portals.
Also, by the way, what is your defense?
Yeah, I sure can. With my shield up, which is nice. Defense is resolve or wits. I'm sorry, wits or dex, whichever's the lowest.
Plus athletics.
Oh, nice. It's the same number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now it's a 9.
Ooh, nice.
Because you've got which armor do you have? Mage armor do you have active?
Base. Adds right. I think it adds right to defense.
Think
Okay.
so.
I just punch out of the way.
one of the security guys who, or one of the gang members who tries to whack at you, but you dodge him. And then you see the guy who tries to hit you. He swings at you and he misses. You jump back and you dodge, and then you see a little thing just come out of the darkness and hits him on the chest. And you see a little red light blinking. And he's like, "Huh?" And then he just gets shocked by something and he falls down.
Nice.
And so I'm gonna go up. Sabrina, are there any declarations you wish to make?
Sabrina is going to work her way to the woman who was shot and is lying dead on the ground.
Okay. You
And try
walk on
to
over to the woman.
pull her to out of the shenanigans to take care of the poor shot woman who is gravely injured. As Sabrina says that out loud, looking straight down, pulling her off to the side.
As you're pulling her off to the side, you see her grin just a bit. So going to then,
And
Christine,
then
hold on, one last thing before we
and
go
then,
back to you.
Okay. It was just
Christine. Okay. Yeah, just real quickly here. Christine, do you have any declarations?
What is my situation when this is going down? I just received the text.
Yeah,
and
now
that's
that
all.
oh no, you received the text and then all this stuff happened. But now you can see the crowd is running away. All of the gang members are getting attacked by something in the darkness. And you look over to your right, and you see a gang guy point one of the Tommy guns at you. And then you see an interesting sight. You see a man, what appears to be dressed in a bat costume, come around from behind the guy and chokehold him and pull him into the darkness, and you see him disappear.
He poofed him.
You know what I'll do? I'll just, dust off my shoulder and do nothing. Just wait and see what's happening. Because this
Sure
is
thing.
getting interesting.
Okay, Sabrina, coming back to you. Sorry I had to do that little thing. You said your comment. You saw her grin a little bit.
Yeah. And then as I'm pulling her away, I'm touching the woman's outfit. I'm spending a point of mana to alter their ability. This should help you against the rest of those psychos. So that woman's dress now has 4 durability.
Mm-hmm. You see her immediately get up and kind of brush herself off. And she says, why thank you. She says, now if you'll excuse me, I could use a little snack.
I'm sure it would be wise not to move because people did see you get shot.
She kind of holds her hands up, and right before your eyes, her look changes. Not a whole lot, but she becomes blonde. She starts to change a bit because you have see-through this deception up. She doesn't really change that much, but you can tell she's working something.
Mm-hmm.
And her face and appearance change utterly. And she says, much better. And with surprising speed, almost past your aura of perception, she jumps on over to a goon that had come by kind of out of the other shadow of the alleyway.
Mm-hmm.
And she pounces on him, extends fangs, and bites into his neck. And starts to drain him right there.
That was the girl from before that was doing the introduction?
That was the girl who got shot, who was up at the podium. Yeah, no one else sees this except for Sabrina, because she pulled her aside.
Nice.
By the way, do I know her personally?
In name, yes, you know her. And you do know what she is.
Okay.
So I have a question really quick.
Go ahead.
Since it kind of went dark and stuff kind of went shitty for the goons really badly. Can I feed on their terror?
I will say yes to the beasts who do that. Yes, there is obviously a lot of terror that is around.
Okay, because she is a predator, so that's right up her alley.
Nice.
Not to mention, right after the scream, like as he was dying, he was definitely in fear.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do this really quick. I'm going to go through and have everyone make a declaration, and then I will say what the scene does, and then pretty soon here the scene will probably end because these guys are all running. So let's start going from left to right. So first off, Sabrina, any declarations as stuff is happening? It's
Sabrina.
Oh, by the way, I should describe what most of you see. Everyone in the scene can see this. A lot of the goons are piling up into this big kind of floating, hovering cargo truck. For those of you who have seen Batman the Animated Series, just imagine like one of those cargo trucks they have in it, but it's a floating kind of cargo truck.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the goons are now just running towards the cargo truck, getting ready to jump in. They're like, and one of the goons screams, "It's the Bat! Run!"
So I'm gonna turn that off.
Truck.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Go ahead and roll me a
Remote
roll.
control.
Do it.
All right. Let's see. 4, 7. Spin the willpower. Get me to 10. Reach to make it instant. Reach to make it range. It's primary factors. Potency. So I'm getting 3 in that already. What else do I? And then I will use my unique tool to reduce paradox by 2. And then I'll mantra and high speech, so that's 12. And then
Jinkies.
I will since it's matter, I'm gonna spend a mana so that way it can't turn on for the rest of the scene or hour. Yeah. So, and then I'll drop some of the potency to get some extra potency. I'll drop another 4, so that's 8 dice. Equal to 8. So that's 2 successes. At potency 5.
No.
Damn it. Damn it, I rolled it in general, but yeah. Because I'm bouncing between chats.
Yeah, so
But
the
yeah.
truck just the truck just it kind of was floating up and then it just goes and then the driver's like and he tries to start it, he can't. All the guys are like, "Get this thing moving," and it's just not moving. Mistress, what do you wish? Tatiana.
I'm not sure what I want to do, honestly, because what do I see? Like, is it still very dark?
Oh yeah, but you've got pretty decent perception. There are a couple goons still nearby you. One of them's dashing into the alleyway, and then another one's heading towards the truck.
So they're trying to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Could I stab them, but without being seen?
Yes, actually. Roll me a Dex plus Stealth, where 10s explode.
Okay, sec. What the fuck is the dice? Okay. Oh, it was 7. Not 8. Okay, 2 successes.
Yeah, so go ahead and make an attack roll against the guy. His defense is 2. So what's your overall dice pool?
Uh, for brawl.
Yeah,
That's strength brawl, right?
Dex brawl.
Dex brawl. Okay, that would be 8.
Okay, so he has a defense of 2, so go ahead and roll me 6 dice. And he does not see you, so 10s will also explode on this one because he's
And
unaware.
I also have a specialty in grappling, so
Mhm.
let's see.
Okay, so in that case, 9s will also
2,
explode. So that's
Yeah.
actually 1, 2, 3.
3,
So what is your strength?
2.
And you have a dot of
Vigor. Yeah.
yes, so that would be 3. He's unaware, so that's another 2. Okay, he fill up his bashing pool. How do you want to do this?
Uh, just sleeper hold him and put him to sleep.
So as you come up behind him, he kind of is obviously surprised. He's like, and you easily sleeper hold him. Go ahead and roll me. Roll me your strength plus athletics.
With the vigor on.
Yes, vigor on.
Three.
Oh yeah, easily. You're just because of the vigor and because of what you are, you're just easily able to just strangle him, and he just goes out very quickly.
Is the other one still running?
The other one's pretty good distance from you now, towards the truck.
I will ignore the second one because I don't want to use celerity and try to remain, secretive. So I'll go back to my bodyguards, pretend to be a distressed,
Okay,
damsel.
so that's that thing. Andrew, what are you doing?
Well, first things first. Are they making off with the device?
Oh no, they've given up on that.
Any of them acting important?
You mean besides the one that just got Sonic?
Yeah,
boom?
but besides the one that just ate it.
The one that just ate it was the only one acting important. The other guys are all kind of just seem to be goons that just care about getting out of here.
All right, Andrew's going to take 1 or 2 looks at their faces. Just 1 or 2, and he's going to commit them to memory.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but all the goons are wearing masks.
Smart. Very smart, actually. How can I twist this? How do? Would an advanced version of eidetic memory do it? Come on.
I mean, you can certainly
Sorry,
commit their
I'm
masks.
thinking-
You can certainly commit their masks to memory.
Well, I guess he wouldn't call a person he can't call a person with a mask on a person, so
True.
advanced
By the-
correction
by
sets
the
may
way-
not work.
By the way, because you're an
Um,
officer of the law, you recognize these guys now to be members of the Ghostface gang.
All right. How about something more direct? Any of these cars have, well, that'd be stupid if they had any distinctive markings.
No, none of them have any distinctive markings. They're all very generic. Actually, most all of them look the same. That's kind of how a lot of gangs work.
Well, he's going to pay attention to one of those cars in particular.
They all appear to
Believe
be
it or
going on. Okay, that's easy enough because they all appear to be going to one truck that has now failed and is now sitting there, and the driver is trying to get it going. And it's at this point that every person in the scene can hear sirens coming. But Andrew made his declaration, so Trinity, you've just sonic boomed him. Now what?
She's going to look up from her kill as her horror is feeding on this chaos going on and gorging on the terror that she caused this man and the terror going on with the crowd. And she's going to grin and I'm trying to think how to phrase this. She's going to like charge the vehicle that they're all piled into. And she's going to attempt to leap onto like the top of it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me strength and athletics.
Okay. Because of her gorge condition, I'm going to probably fail this. We'll see. Strength and athletics. Oof. That is a fail. Can I choose? And I'm going to make it a dramatic failure to gain a beat. Because I
Okay.
failed.
Okay. You face plant. So you go to jump and you just smack head first into the truck. You don't jump high enough and you fall backward. And not only that, but when you hit the truck, Trinity, you see a vast ocean in your mind's eye. And for a split second, you see a massive shark come up out of the water and surround you and just clamp down. And you can feel the pain of it biting into you, the twisting and the tearing and the ripping of your flesh and the agony that it brings. But then you're just back on the sidewalk and you've just hit the truck. Now you're lying in a pool of water because it was raining.
Yeah.
So
And she's
with
just
that,
going to stay.
go ahead. Go ahead. Is there anything more, or do I move on to Edward?
Oh, no, she's just going to stay there kind of like curled up.
Yeah, because that didn't feel too good. Edward, what are you doing in all this?
Mayor's still kind of down, and
Mhm.
most of the bad people with guns are taking off running. Correct?
Mhm.
Keeps over her, number one. Number two, I'm going to try a weird spell and then disappear into the night. I think I'm reading this right. I'm going to borrow threads. I'm going to reach out and grab a sympathetic link of one of the bad guys who's running away to their mask, and I'm going to copy it onto myself. This is
Clever.
in second edition. I would call this. I'm making a correspondence tag on their helmet,
That's very nice. All
and
right.
it's highly sympathetic to them, so it might become highly sympathetic to me. I need one reach to do this,
Mhm.
and it's not a rote, unfortunately, but it should be no vulgarity to it. So I'm going to use 2 foci items for 7 dice. 5 plus 2. Now,
Roll
what
it.
else do I need to do, mages, to get that extra reach?
All right, so you get a number. So what your
hold
space
on.
rating is too?
I get 1 free reach if it's a dot lower than what I have, and I got 3 dots in it. This is a 2-dot power.
Right. You get you get 1 reach if you are at level. You always get 1 reach,
Okay.
and then if for every one above that, you get an additional free reach.
Just need the 1.
All right, so you're turning it. So you're using it to make it an instant cast.
Using what? I guess so. Yes.
All right, and then you have 3 in space.
I have 3.
Okay, so then you can make it at ranged, so you don't have to touch it.
Nice.
So those are your 2 reaches. All right. So you Gnosis 2,
Space 3.
space 3, so that's 5, and you're using 2 tools.
Correct.
So both 1-dot tools.
I assume so. Yes, I don't think I have anything else.
They are 1-dot tools.
All right, so you're at 7.
And I need 2. Correct.
So the withstand on this is connection. So
And on that, their height they would be pretty damn
Go
connected.
go ahead and roll it. I've got the defense. It's gonna be wasted. Roll 6 dice.
Subtract 1. I really want this to work, and I'm getting a lot of 1, so I'm gonna spend 1 willpower.
that'll get you 3 more dice.
That brings it to 9.
Your primary factor is duration on this.
Oh yeah.
So, but you have no base potency. You have a base potency of 1. But there's still the sympathetic connection, which is the withstand rating of
Yeah, he
the
he,
spell.
pop, he was able to pop it.
But not for long.
Okay, so yeah, your spell works.
I have probably a very short-term tag on that thing.
Granted, the one you looked at too wasn't one running toward the truck. He was running away, but you're able to tag him.
That is fine. Maybe they'll meet up.
And now I assume you just disappear into the night.
No, first, because I'm glancing at make sure that it's still very, very dark, right?
Mhm.
Pull on my cool little mask and look down at the mayor. Remember who saved you here tonight, and take off running into the shadows with me. Into the shadows.
Okay, wasted.
Oh, and hold on. Changes to my character sheet. I want to add 1 dot of fame and 1 dot of infamy. 1 dot of fame, homeless and the downtrodden. 1 dot of infamy. I might be wanted for the police. For
Okay.
stuff.
You duck into the alleyway.
Yes.
You're running away at this point, and you feel yourself fall. You fall down into a black void as soon as you hit the alleyway, and then you are thrown into a trash can in some other random alleyway.
I know.
And you're not entirely sure where you are right now.
Hey, I know how this game works. Look around.
Eventually, you're able to find a street sign. You're about 5 blocks that way.
Son of a.
All right, so hold on. Let's get back to the thing. Wrapping up the scene for what has happened in the other area. The sirens are now appearing. You can see cop cars now appearing down on the road. All of the goons, they think about getting into a firefight, but then some of them are like, "Fuck it, use the suits, but they're so expensive. Use the suits." And a couple of the guys have thrown down their guns and are just like getting down on their knees and throwing up their hands like, fuck it, because there's a lot of cop cars coming. Some of the other guys have activated what looks to be stealth suits, and they're chameleon suits, similar for those of you who have seen the movie Predator. And they're like pressing the suits and like, get out of here. To make a long story short, they don't stand a chance. They're outnumbered by cops on this point, and they kind of go about and they start arresting people and whatnot. And I will go through and say what is happening to each character, and then I will give last minute wrap up declarations, and then the scene will end. So, Sabrina. After everyone starts wrapping things up, a couple officers start gathering up any civilians or whatever left over, and they start pulling you aside, and they're like, "What happened here, ma'am? We're getting statements."
She will comply with the officers and give statements of the horrible gang attack from this particular gang that endangered the lives of everybody present.
You hear a sputter and a little energized, like kind of coming from the truck, and then you just see a little kind of mini explosion happen. Not like an explosion, but like a little pop come from the engine of the truck, and you just hear a. Officer turns and looks to the truck, and he's like, "Well, that thing's fried."
That's why you always keep up with your hover vehicles.
No kidding. Tatiana, a couple officers come over to you and they see your guards and they see who you are. One of the officers takes off his hat and he's like, Tatiana, is everything okay?
I will be fine. I will be fine. Don't worry. Thank you for your concern.
Oh, of course, anytime. And your contributions to Gotham PD are always welcome.
And she will smile and she will fuck off pretty much.
So you get into your limo. They don't even take a statement from you. They just let you go. Police barricades move aside as your limo goes. Andrew, one of the other detectives comes up to you and he's like, shit. This is the third time this week these suckers have tried some.
3. That's bold.
Yeah. Yeah, we had 2 more incidents happen. One of them down on the pier, and then one of them over by the high-rise building, the new Gotham Center. You know, that center that got set up for kids. You know, places where parents can take their kids and play on playgrounds and whatever, and daycare basically. Yeah, new Gotham daycare. They actually tried to bomb a daycare. Can you believe these guys? Can you believe that?
Did they find a bomb there? That's insane.
Mm-hmm. We did. I swear, they were going to blow up a freaking daycare. What kind of scumbag does that?
That is crazy.
Yeah, we still haven't even found their boss yet either. Guy who
How
calls
long
himself
ago was
Ghost.
this?
Oh, this was just this morning, actually. Yeah, found it about 9 a.m.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's bullshit is what it is. Still haven't found their leader yet. Guy who calls himself Ghostface Killer. Lame name.
Well, I guess they'd have to be crazy if they're
lot
blowing
of
up
the-
centers and trying to steal science experiments and taking shots at random people just standing around. That's out of hand. We can't allow that.
Yeah, I'll say this. A lot of the rumors are going around saying the guy's got voodoo magic, but I'd say that's bullshit. A lot of these crazies just have really nice tech, and that's all there is to it.
Oh, you know how it is on the road, on the streets, in the dark. Everyone's spooked.
No kidding. Hey, good job tonight, man. I'm gonna go check some of the injured, and just don't worry about your paperwork tonight. I'll help you out with it.
Yeah, I know how it is. Anytime anyone pulls a weapon, it's always paperwork.
I swear, we need to get a 3D scanner for this shit, so we're done with it. He brings up like this little holographic display on a little watch he's got. And he starts going through stuff. He starts scanning things. For anyone who's played Heavy Rain, he starts going around with the digital thing like the detective does, and he just starts looking at stuff.
The fancy.
Yeah. And Trinity, after what happened, you're still lying in the puddle as an officer comes over, and a couple paramedics come over to you. They're like, "Got one down here."
She pulls herself to her feet and she says, I'm fine. I tried running away and I think I managed to run right into their truck in the dark." And she's kind of running her hand through her hair sheepishly. I'll be fine, I promise. Just a little bit.
They're kind of they're doing what paramedics do at an accident and shooting scene. They're looking you up and down. They're like, hold still, ma'am, making sure there's no injuries and whatnot.
Okay.
He scans you over with a little scanner, and then one of the paramedics comes over and he scans you with another scanner. They just scanned you twice. One guy scans you, and then another guy comes over. He scans you with like this little, almost like PK. It's almost like the PKE meter from Ghostbusters, and he looks you up and down. Roll me wits plus composure.
All right. I'm going to spend a willpower on this if that's okay.
Hey,
Oh boy.
Okay. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, really? That's 0 successes. Oh, fuck.
all right. You don't seem to notice anything.
Okay.
But he looks at you and he puts his hand on your shoulder and he gives you a bright smile. He's no longer seems to be worried. He seems to be quite happy now. And he's like, "You're fine, ma'am. Go on ahead. You can
And
go."
she smiles and says, "Thank you. I'm sorry for..." And she kind of gestures at the truck. "Sorry for running into it." And then she heads over to Andrew.
Okay. Andrew, you see Miss Logan come up to you. A couple of the officers kind of barred their way and like, "Ma'am, police business. Please move aside."
That's all right. I was just leaving anyway. Max got most of my statement. We'll wrap it up tomorrow. You know how it is.
Oh, well, sure thing. Do you know this woman?
Shit. She did introduce herself at least as Trinity, yes?
I don't think
No.
actually.
No, you've never heard her name.
She just goes, "Oh, I don't know him, but he saved me. He helped me when the shooting was going on. I just wanted to thank him, if that's okay."
A couple of the officers kind of stand aside.
Okay, so she goes up to Andrew and she just says, "Trinity, it's my name." And she holds out her hand.
Andrew takes it.
"How about I buy you a coffee as thanks for helping me out?"
That should be fine. You know,
And she smiles a 1,000-watt smile and then nods and says, "Perfect. You pick the place."
sure. And he hands her a card.
All right, and then she'll take it and she will. Yeah, that's what I'm done. I'm done.
Alrighty.
So,
You see this woman. She comes out of the alleyway when the police start, talking to people, and she's kind of covered in blood, but she's got like this little makeshift bandage over her. And she's like, "Oh my God, officers, thank you. I was so frightened." And for all of you saw her get shot, square in the chest, boom, heart shot. And although she's now bandaged and appears to be bleeding, maybe you're not sure. You hear her kind of make a commotion over by some of the officers, and she's like, "Oh my God, officers! I was so scared. Thank you, thank you, thank you." And they're all of the officers on the scene just kind of like rush towards her. Like not all of them, but like all the focus is on her now. And she's got like 3 or 4 officers around her, and they're like, "It's okay, ma'am. It's okay. We'll get you some medicine." And she's like, "No, it's all right. I'm fine. Just get me to Gotham General." And they all start kind of crowding around her, and all of a sudden she is the most important person on the scene, even though there are other people who are, probably shaken. But it doesn't appear that there's anyone else really injured. There are a lot of goons that were kind of pulled away from the scene. Like, they got beaten up pretty bad. Like, you guys see a couple random goons hanging from what appear to be cables from a couple streetlights. You can also see a lot of goons that were like beaten up by something, but lying face down on the sidewalk. But who knows? But before I end the scene, Sabrina, I'm gonna have something happen with you really quick. You walk by one of the officers. Who's typing? You're gonna walk by one of the officers. And you're going to hear the radio conversation because he's not actually being that discreet with it. You're even going to hear what comes over the radio. So, I heard about the incident, Detective Morris. Yeah. It was pretty good, but we cleaned it up, and it seems like everyone just thinks it was another gang attack. Well, that's good. That's good. Means the distraction worked. By the way, how many specials were there? How many specials? Oh, yeah, right. That's your terminology. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, I believe, sir. Right. Just to confirm, do we know what kind of specials they were? Oh, yes, sir. The reports are going to be filed to you momentarily. Excellent. Were there any of our unique variety? Sir, can you be more descriptive? Did we have any Harry Potters on the scene? Oh, why, yes, sir, we did. We had 2 Harry Potters, it seems. I see. And creepy dead? Yes, sir. We had 2 creepy dead. Right. And fangheads? I think we had 1 fanghead, sir. Right. Very well then. We'll deal with them in due time. File out your report as normal, Dr. Morris, and Mr. Morris, and make sure that everything seems normal. You can report to the station tomorrow. Yes, sir.
And with that, she is going to keep going. And our Trinity or Andrew in sight?
Yes. They are both within sight as you come out of the alleyway area.
Mm-hmm. And Sabrina's going to walk up with that shawl and kind of like pop it up over her shoulders to try and keep her warm on this cool night. And she's going to smile a bright smile and wave over to Trinity.
Oh, hey,
And
are you
Andrew.
all right?
Oh, I'm fine. It's good. I'm glad to see that you made it out of there okay. And look kind of over it. Andrew, I'm glad to see that you're kind of like elevator eyes him and then go up to where his horror's eyes kind of were. Glad to see that you're both okay and unharmed. That was such a dangerous situation.
Honestly, I'd prefer they had just gotten what they wanted and left.
They did.
Instead, looks like the boss wanted blood on top of everything else. That was a mistake on his part.
It was a really unique scenario. They were performing a census, it seems.
What kind of census?
Looks kind of like knowingly at Trinity and then to Andrew. They were counting.
And Andrew's going to take a moment, and he's going to think back to his own counting, because the eidetic memory is wonderful, and he's going to rattle off the numbers.
That's not what they were counting.
Andrew, you hear another officer off to your left say something about 7.
No, I meant he was going to rattle off how many supers he had counted earlier.
I know, you counted 7.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but before all that, he heard someone talking about 7.
Yes. You hear another officer off to your right, Andrew, and he says, "Yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 7 of them. Mm-hmm. Copy that." It's at this point, a lot of the officers just kind of randomly, like very randomly, stop taking statements, stop helping the wounded, and everyone just starts to leave. Like everyone.
Trinity looks around and says, "We need to go."
With the quickness.
And she just loops her arm through Andrew's arm, offers an arm to Sabrina, and if she takes it, she starts walking off.
Will take it gladly.
There's still hurt people here. What are you talking about?
They'll be fine. The paramedics will come. We need to get out of here now. Trust me, cuz. And she winks at him.
Yep.
Let's take a nice long walk. And I'm going to machine invisibility the 3 of us.
Very nice. I actually will not have you roll that because you're going to be getting aid. Your spell goes off easily. Probably easier than you ever casted before. You cast machine invisibility upon yourself.
The 3 of us. We no longer show up on cameras, microphones, any mundane recording object or sensor.
Yep.
For the next hour or so. Enough
And
to get us the fuck out.
As you continue down, you are ignored by a couple people. You're also ignored by a street drone. They're kind of creepy little things, but they're okay. They're drones that were basically made to aid people and help on the street, whatever. They just released them this year. Drone completely walks by you, doesn't even see you. And at that point, you see that there is a symbol painted up on one of the buildings. It's a symbol of a bat. It's basically the bat symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also see that there is a goon in the alleyway. This is a little bit further down. This is actually further away than the scene was.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see a goon, and he is dead. He has if you guys walk by him, you can tell his neck has been snapped almost 360 degrees around. And as you continue walking, Sabrina, you hear a voice in your head. That'll be all for now. But we'll be watching. Take care, dearie. Gotham can be a dangerous place. And with that, we will end the first night of Gotham by Night. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. You all have a good night now.